Welcome back to High Story Series, the history episodes of Entailing Tales, where we dive into stories that shape our world, uncover histories that never fade, and explore cultures that define us. Today, we're talking about one of the most awe-inspiring and massive spiritual gatherings in human history, the Mahakumbh Mela 2025. So grab a cup of chai, sit back, and let's take a deep dive into the history, the spiritual significance, the cultural magnitude, and the immense human unity that this event represents. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why the Kumbh Mela is not just a religious festival, but a living, breathing testament to the power of belief, devotion, and togetherness. Hey, hello, bonjour. Welcome to Entailing Tales with Sush. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Kumbh Mela? The Kumbh Mela is an extraordinary ancient Hindu pilgrimage that has been happening for thousands of years. It is the world's largest public gathering and most revered spiritual gathering. The festival brings together millions of people in search of spiritual purification, redemption, and a deeper connection to the divine. Kumbh Mela in Hinduism is a religious pilgrimage that is celebrated approximately every 6, 12, and 144 years. The geographical location of Kumbh Mela spans over 4 locations in India, and the Mela site keeps rotating between one of the 4 pilgrimages on 4 sacred rivers. In Haridwar, Uttarakhand, on the banks of Ganges; in Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh, on the banks of Shipra; in Nasik, Maharashtra, on the banks of Godavari; in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh, at the confluence of the Ganges, Yamuna, and the mythical invisible Saraswati. But why specifically these 4 locations? According to Hindu mythology, specifically the legend of Samudra Manthan, or the churning of the ocean, according to ancient scriptures, this celestial event was a collaborative effort between the Devas, gods, and Asuras, demons, to retrieve Amrit, the nectar of immortality. During the process, a kumbh, pot filled with sacred nectar emerged. To safeguard it from the demons, Lord Vishnu, disguised as Mohini, seized the pot and fled. Along his journey, a few drops of the nectar spilled at 4 places: Prayagraj, Haridwar, Ujjain, and Nashik, making them holy sites for the Kumbh Mela. These 4 sites became sacred, hosting the Kumbh Mela on a rotating basis. It's fascinating how this myth has survived, not just in stories, but in this massive living tradition that has been carried out for centuries. Each site's celebration is based on a distinct set of astrological positions of the Sun, the Moon, and the Jupiter. The celebrations occur at the exact moment when these positions are fully occupied, as it is considered to be the holiest time in Hinduism. Pilgrims to the Kumbh Mela come from all sections of the religion, ranging from sadhus, saints, and Naga Sadhus, who practice sadhana and keenly follow a strict path of spiritual discipline, to hermits who leave their seclusion and come to visit the civilization only during the Kumbh Mela, to seekers of spirituality, to common people practicing Hinduism, and tourists from around the globe. The Kumbh Mela is an event that intrinsically encapsulates the science of astronomy, astrology, spirituality, ritualistic traditions, and socio-cultural customs and practices, making it extremely rich in knowledge. There are 4 kinds of Kumbh Mela. Regular Kumbh Mela. This takes place every 3 years by rotation at the 4 sacred sites of Prayagraj, Haridwar, Nasik, and Ujjain. Ardh Kumbh Mela. This Ardh or half Kumbh takes place every 6 years at Haridwar and Prayagraj. Purna Kumbh Mela. This is the complete Kumbh Mela celebrated every 12 years at the 4 sacred sites. It is believed that the 12-year period is a marker of planet Jupiter's alignment with the other constellations. Mahakumbh Mela. This is celebrated every 144 years after the completion of 12 Purna Kumbh Melas at Prayagraj, becoming one of the rarest that attracts large number of devotees, saints and seers. This unique alignment is believed to make it an exceptionally auspicious time for prayers and rituals. The 2025 Mahakumbh is one such occasion, attracting an estimated 400 million visitors to Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh in India from January 13 to February 26, 2025. Millions of devotees has the opportunity to cleanse themselves spiritually by taking a ritual bath at the Triveni Sangam, where the Ganga, Yamuna and the mythological Saraswati rivers meet, the waters of which are considered holy by the Hindus, symbolizing a purification of the soul and a path to attaining moksha or liberation. The Mela also holds significance for its rituals. During the Kumbh Mela, a number of ceremonies take place. The traditional procession of akharas called Peshwai on elephant backs, horses and chariots, the shining swords and rituals of Naga Sadhus during Shahi Snan and many other cultural activities that attract millions of pilgrims to attend the Kumbh Mela. The rituals also include Aarti, the offering of sacred flames to the gods on the riverbanks of Yamuna, Ganga and the Triveni Sangam. Then there is Shahi Snan, which holds significance as per devotees' beliefs, which suggests that taking a dip in the Triveni Sangam rids one of all their sins, release them and their ancestors from the cycle of rebirth and help them attain moksha, salvation. Sankirtan and bhajans. Devotees sing hymns, chants and bhajans, filling the atmosphere with spiritual energy and devotion. Yoga and meditation. Pilgrims participate in yoga and meditation sessions to achieve physical, mental, and spiritual well being. Spiritual discourses. Renowned scholars and spiritual leaders deliver sermons and philosophical talks, offering insights into religion, spirituality, and life. Another ritual is a lesser known but a special one, known as Kalpavas. A Kalpavasi, as explained in the Padma Purana, is required to observe 21 rules through mind, speech, and action. Then comes Prayagraj Panchkoshi Parikrama, a 60-kilometer pilgrimage around Prayagraj. Finally comes the visiting of temples. The Kumbh Mela is not just a religious and spiritual event. It's a massive logistical and environmental undertaking, especially considering the millions of people who participate. To manage this massive event, authorities have implemented various measures focusing on environmental sustainability, public health, sanitation, safety, and infrastructure. Environmental sustainability. Efforts include waste management through recycling and biodegradable materials, solar energy for lighting, and measures to protect the holy rivers from pollution. Health and hygiene. Temporary medical camps and vaccination programs are set up to prevent disease outbreaks. Hygiene camps, along with clean water and public toilets, help maintain basic sanitation. Health services feature 6,000 beds, 43 hospitals, and air ambulances. Infrastructure. A temporary city is built with tents, transportation systems, and communication services to accommodate the crowd. Shuttle buses and railway stations help with crowd movement. Sanitation. Eco-friendly toilets, biogas facilities, and wastewater treatment plants ensure cleanliness. Regular waste collection keeps the area free from pollution. Safety. Crowd management and disaster management plans ensure safety. Over 2,700 AI-enabled cameras and various security forces will be deployed throughout the Mela area, creating a multi-layered security approach to manage large crowds. Thousands of security personnel and emergency response teams are deployed to handle emergencies. Facilities. Pilgrims are provided with temporary shelters, food stalls, safe drinking water, and accessible services for the elderly or disabled. The anticipated influx of visitors is expected to have a significant economic impact on the region, with an estimated budget of around 6,382 crores allocated for the event's infrastructure and services. The organizers are aiming to set multiple Guinness World Records during this Kumbh, including the largest synchronized sweeping drive with 15,000 participants, the largest e-vehicle parade featuring 1,000 e-rickshaws and vehicles, the most handprint paintings created in 8 hours involving 10,000 participants, the largest river cleaning campaign with 300 volunteers. In essence, the Kumbh Mela combines spirituality with careful planning to ensure the safety, sustainability, and well being of millions of attendees. This religious congregation is also an occasion to get a glimpse into the mystical world of India's Naga Sadhus. Imagine a group of ascetics draped in sacred ash, long matted hair, and with Rudraksha beads wandering the banks of a holy river, leading millions in a spiritual journey. These are the Naga Sadhus, the mystic warriors of the Kumbh Mela, one of the largest religious gatherings on earth. Known for their extreme devotion and ascetic practices, Naga Sadhus are not just participants, they are the spiritual vanguards of the Mela. Often seen as the first to bathe in the sacred waters, symbolizing purification and divine connection. But who are they really? And what drives these men to embrace such an extraordinary path of austerity and self-discipline? Let's dive into the world of the Naga Sadhus, their unique role at the Kumbh Mela, and the fascinating blend of spirituality, mysticism, and devotion that makes this ancient tradition so captivating. Naga in Sanskrit means mountain. People residing in and around mountains are known as Pahadis or Naga. These are the ascetic saints, members of various akharas or monastic organizations established as per ancient Hindu traditions. Naga Sadhus have dedicated their lives to spiritual enlightenment. Their distinctive appearance is marked by long jatas on their heads and their naked bodies covered in ash, which symbolizes their renunciation of worldly possessions and desires. They live a life devoid of material comforts and emphasize sacrifice, penance, and religious devotion. They follow a distinct tradition that distinguishes them from other saints. As per ancient traditions, Naga Sadhus have been regarded as the protectors of the Hindu culture and faith. They live in the Himalayas, in caves, and Kumbh Mela is the only time when these saints are visible among the ordinary people. These sadhus are ardent devotees of Lord Shiva and are known for their extreme asceticism and stringent spiritual practices which spans over years. The history of Naga Sadhus is very old. The traces of legacy are found in Mohenjo-daro coins. Alexander and his soldiers also met Naga Sadhus during their stay in India. Buddha and Mahavir were impressed to see the penance of Naga Sadhus, their devotion for the people and motherland. Jainese Digambara tradition has roots to Naga rituals. During Mughal invasion, there were series of attacks on the Sanatan Dharma and Hindu structures. Naga Sadhus are considered as the military forces of Hindus for safeguarding Hinduism and India's ancient culture from foreign invaders. The Nagas were first organized into military groups by Adi Shankaracharya in the 8th century for defending Sanatan Dharma, which is the base and entity of India. Later on, Adi Shankaracharya set up the Dashnami Sannyasi order, which comprised of 7 akharas. They were always lashed with trishul, sword, and other deadly weapons in their hands for Dharma. These Nagas took part in several battles as warriors of Hindu armies. When Aurangzeb's general Mirza Ali Turang attacked Kashi Varanasi in 1664, thousands of Nagas battled his army and helped safeguard the Kashi Vishwanath temple. When Aurangzeb's army attacked Haridwar in 1666, these Nagas again came forward to resist them. Aurangzeb's special army of Muslims who were established to denigrate Hindu temples and structures were defeated hundreds of times. Later on, several Hindu kings took help from these akhadas even to fight Malechas in battlefields. There are several incidents when the akhadas successfully won battles for Hindu kings. The Archive of Archaeological Survey of India has mentions of several such historical encounters. In some battles, more than 40,000 Naga Sadhus participated to protect Sanatan Dharma and culture of Bharat. There is also mention of one of the epic incidents when Ahmad Shah Abdali attacked Gokul, and Naga Sadhus on their own protected Gokul, slaying Mughals bravely. Naga Sadhus are revered by Hindus as representatives of the gods. Most sadhus are males. The few females ones are called sadhvin. The path to becoming a Naga Sadhu is not merely a decision. It's a transformative journey demanding immense dedication and discipline. Steeped in ancient Hindu traditions, this process requires aspirants to undergo rigorous spiritual and physical challenges. The process is so unbearable, laborious, stiff, and difficult that materialistic person becoming a Naga Sadhu is almost impossible. The army training the world over is inspired by the training and yogic process of the Naga Sadhus, but still it cannot be compared to the intolerable, exasperating circumstances that a Naga Sadhu has to go through. It is not an exercise of 2 or 3 years, but takes at least a decade. In some cases, 20 to 30 years to become a Naga Sadhu. I'll give you an overview of the path to becoming a Naga Sadhu. The journey begins with a tough screening process and the observance of brahmacharya, celibacy, and spiritual discipline. This initial stage is not for the faint-hearted. Aspirants must undergo a thorough evaluation by the governing akhada, a religious institution overseeing the initiation of new members. The screening scrutinizes the aspirant's commitment and ability to live a life of renunciation. A stringent test is imposed, often extending up to 12 years, during which the aspirant practices celibacy and abstains from worldly pleasures. Upon successful completion of the initial stage, the aspirant undergoes the Panch Guru and Pinddan rituals. When a guru deems the aspirant ready, they are introduced to 5 spiritual guides symbolizing the deities Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti, Surya, and Ganesh. These gurus provide spiritual instruction and guidance. To receive Diksha or spiritual initiation, the aspirant performs a Pinddan of himself, a symbolic ritual normally associated with performing funeral rites for one's ancestors. This symbolizes the renunciation of their past identity and social ties, embracing a new spiritual rebirth. The final stage involves the neutralization of the organ linga. In this process, Naga has to stand without food for 24 continuous hours under the Akada flag. For all these hours, a dund is kept on his shoulder and hands are made to hold water pots. Upon completion of these rites, the aspirant is formally accepted as Naga Sadhu, fully embracing an ascetic lifestyle focused on spiritual growth and enlightenment. This sacred path is a testament to the aspirant's dedication to spiritual liberation, a journey reserved for those willing to forsake worldly life in pursuit of divine transcendence. Naga Sadhus have a significant connection with the Mahakumbh Mela. They are given the first bathing rites at the Mahakumbh Mela. These sadhus take a dip in the sacred waters and then other devotees are allowed to take their holy baths. They are believed to possess extraordinary spiritual powers and are revered by millions of devotees across the world. The Naga Sadhus do such extreme austerities for not only getting special powers, rather for escaping out from the cycle of 84 lakh different yonis of death and rebirth also. They are highly energetic military of Hindus for safeguarding Hinduism, but they are never threat to any other people or faiths. They are the true devotee of Lord Shiva with no fear of death and life. But nowadays, people ignorant of great Hindu bhakti and traditions simply make a mockery of this Hindu ethos and rituals, without knowing that sadhus who practice these high conscious tasks take penance to an impossible level. The Naga Sadhus are integral to the Kumbh Mela and to the broader spiritual landscape of India. With their rigorous discipline, mystical presence, and unwavering devotion, they embody the highest ideals of asceticism and spiritual pursuit. Their role in the Mela is not just ceremonial, but deeply symbolic. They are a living reminder of the transformative power of faith, renunciation, and the quest for liberation. The Mahakumbh Mela, despite its deeply religious roots, is something that transcends borders. It's an event that draws people not just from India, but from all over the world. You'll find foreign tourists, spiritual seekers, even scholars attending this grand gathering. The event represents a unique convergence of cultures, beliefs, and histories. It's a symbol of unity where people of all faiths and backgrounds come together not just to witness a spiritual phenomenon, but to experience something that taps into the core of human identity, the search for meaning, connection, and peace. As we wrap up today's episode, let's reflect on the awe-inspiring nature of the Mahakumbh Mela. It's a celebration of faith, but it's also a celebration of humanity's shared quest for spiritual renewal. For those lucky enough to attend the Mela in 2025, it'll be an experience like no other. A chance to not only cleanse the body, but to cleanse the spirit. But for the rest of us, the Mela serves as a reminder that no matter where we are in the world, we're all part of a larger cosmic dance. And whether you're there in person or following along digitally, the Mahakumbh Mela is a chance to reflect on our collective journey towards self-purification, peace, and understanding. Thank you for joining me today. If you have found this episode interesting, don't forget to like, share, and follow for more episodes like this. I'll leave you with a reminder to take a moment to reflect on what connects us all. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring. Namaste.